Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are well. So, Jaime Munguia defeats Spike O'Sullivan by an 11th round knockout. This was of course Jaime Munguia's middleweight debut, and for the most part, he was in control. There were no real scares, and he won this fight fairly handily. Of course, Jaime Munguia now is being trained by Eric Morales. And in this fight, I felt you saw a few signs of things Munguia's been working on in the gym. He showed a few elements to his game that he's not shown to date, and I'm assuming that's what he's been working on with Eric Morales. Now, you know, the things he was showing in this fight, he never really did consistently. That will come over time and, you know, spending more time with Morales, but there are a few positive signs in this fight, and we'll discuss that. First round, Munguia comes out, and he's actually moving his head, you know, moving the waist as well, moving the upper body, making Spike O'Sullivan miss. Munguia was also landing some nice jabs, and he was actually displaying some pretty good hand speed. In the first round, when he threw his power shots, he wasn't loading up quite as much, and he was a lot more fluid with his combinations. Now, as the fight played out, some of Munguia's old habits did start to come back into play. You know, like the reckless trading, loading up on shots, lack of jab, sometimes questionable defense. But also at times, he was trying to implement the new things he's learned in the gym. And, you know, implementing these improvements will take time. It's not going to happen after one camp or in one fight. The more time he spends with Morales, you know, theoretically, he should be able to implement these changes more effectively as he goes through his career. But I did see a few signs of improvements from Munguia in this fight, and he's clearly been working hard in the gym. It looks like he's trying to better himself as a boxer, which is obviously great. But yeah, as the fight went on, Munguia was really kind of piecing Spike O'Sullivan up. He was landing some good combinations, and he was pretty much winning all of the rounds. Spike O'Sullivan, his game plan was really to catch Munguia with one big shot and try and knock Munguia out, and he actually caught Munguia with a few good shots, but too few and far in between. Round 3, Spike O'Sullivan actually caught Munguia with a really good right hand towards the end of the round. Munguia was kind of exchanging, kind of slipping back into his old habits, throwing a lot of punches without really paying attention of what's coming back, and Spike timed him with a good right hand, and you know, that shot was really felt by Munguia. I wouldn't say he was as hurt as the commentary team made out, but he certainly felt it. And yeah, there are a few times in this fight when Spike O'Sullivan would time Munguia with hard shots, but you know, Munguia showed a pretty good chin. And yeah, as the fight went on, Spike O'Sullivan was getting pieced up. He was sustaining a fair amount of punishment. He actually got caught low a couple of times in this fight. In fact, Munguia actually got a point deducted in this fight for low blows. I'm not sure whether they was deliberate or not, or whether it is just, you know, Munguia, you know, throwing so many shots that occasionally some would stray low, but regardless, he got deducted a point for low blows in this fight. But yeah, I mean, it was a decent performance from Munguia, though it does have to be said, obviously Spike O'Sullivan is very limited. He's not a world level fighter, and listen, you should be beating Spike O'Sullivan if you're worth your salt, so he can't go overboard. But it was a solid performance, and I saw a few signs of improvements from Jaime Munguia. And yeah, the fight was ended in round 11. Munguia opened up with a combination which dropped Spike O'Sullivan, and Spike O'Sullivan's corner threw in the towel to save their man. And I think that was the right decision. I think Spike O'Sullivan certainly had enough at that point. And yeah, decent performance from Munguia. We'll see where he goes next. I actually think now he's not got a world title, he needs a couple of development fights. A couple of fights to improve and really work on some new things, you know, try and implement these new changes to his game. So I think he needs a couple of development fights, and now he's not got a world title, he's got the luxury of doing that. When he won that world title at 154, I think it came way too soon. I think Munguia was too young, and he wasn't really ready to be a world champion. He wasn't willing to fight top competition. He wasn't ready to fight those guys because of the flaws in his game. And now I think he's got an opportunity to try and iron some of those things out and be a better fighter. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Munguia. As for Spike O'Sullivan, it really is the end of the road for him. Maybe he could come back and fight some domestic fights, but I can't really see a future for Spike O'Sullivan. Anyway, share your thoughts below. What did you make of his performance? Peace.